Hi there, I'm Tommy Larkin, Chief Experience Officer and owner of Optimal Movement Fitness and Yoga. And today we're getting the fire out of the fireplace and into the hips with Agnistambhasana. Welcome back and thank you so much for joining me today. Now, if you've been following along with the previous handful of tweaks, you'll have noticed the focus on the hips and tightness created from extended periods of sitting. However, sitting is not the only thing which can increase tightness in our hips. If we run a lot, go for hikes, perform squat-like movements, especially load-bearing, or even general yard work, we can create tightness in the hips through these repetitive movements. So today we're having a general hip opener which benefits the entire hips and lower back along with the inner thighs. It's called Agnistambhasana or fire log pose. It's a deceptively simple cross-legged position which targets the outer hips primarily, but can get into the inner thighs and, depending on your level of flexibility, the lower back. It gets its name because the legs resemble stacked logs in a fireplace. Now, Agnistambhasana is a great position to practice if you're looking to get better at lotus pose or other bent knee postures which require deeper hip opening. But more important than giving you a lot of detail on this pose today is the correct setup and positioning of the legs. So today we're going to look at the best way to sit for this pose based on the level of opening you currently have in your hips, thighs, and lower back. But before we get into a little series of tests and the pose itself, let me make one quick note. It's very important to make sure the feet in the pose and the setup tests line up with the outer side of the opposite knee. This applies even if you do not stack one foot on top of the other knee. So let's get to it. First, we need to make sure you can sit upright in a simple cross-legged position known as Sukhasana in yoga, without rounding the lower back. Sit on the floor and cross your legs. Make sure the soles of your feet line up as best you can with the outer edges of the opposite knees, and the shins make a rough parallel line to the front of your mat. Now, if you can sit up straight and even fold forward slightly, you are good to move to the next level of the process. However, if you find the lower back rounding, then you'll need some support under your hips. A folded yoga blanket or beach towel is usually enough, but if you need a block or more, that is fine too. If you need some support, you will practice Agnistambhasana in this position. As the hips start to open up with time and the support is no longer needed, then you can proceed to the deeper versions of this practice. In addition, if you cannot sit on the floor, then you can use a chair and do one half of the practice at a time. If you do not need support, then you will test placing one foot on the opposite knee with the knee's foot lined up under the other knee. Again, the shins should be parallel to the front of your mat. Now, if the upper leg knee is touching the foot underneath it or is within a couple of finger widths, you will be able to fold forward to help deepen the work. If there is more space between the foot and knee, then you have two options to proceed. First is to go back to the Sukhasana version, that simple cross-legged position, and also do the forward fold portion. The second option is to place your hands behind you to help support the lift in the chest and to keep the knees in a safer position relative to the foot and the tightness in the hips. In this position, you will actively roll the thighs away from each other and not forward fold. So let's do the active work. Starting with the right foot on top. If you are in a chair, sitting without support in Sukhasana or stacking the legs, inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward using the hands for support. If you are stacking the legs but using the hands for support, or you are sitting in Sukhasana on support, you will leave out the forward fold. Now hold for 30 to 45 seconds normally with this, but we're going to just take an extra inhale and an extra exhale. And on the next inhale, come back up out of the forward fold, and as you exhale, we'll cross the legs to the opposite side. Now with the left ankle on top or foot on top of the right knee, right, take an inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward using the hands for support. Again, if you are stacking the legs but using the hands behind you for support or sitting on support, you will leave out the forward fold. Now again, you would hold for 30 to 45 seconds here, but again, just a nice little inhale and an exhale. And then on this next inhale, come out of the forward fold, and exhale, release the cross of the legs. Wonderful and great job. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you find Agnistambhasana to be a beneficial addition in opening your hips and keeping your body more pliable. I trust you are enjoying these tweaks and are starting to gain more vitality in your life as a result. If you are interested in seeing how these tweaks are integrated into a practice, you can join me for group classes weekly, online and in person, or check out our growing library of videos. Visit omfei.com for our class schedule and access to our on-demand video library. And to make it even easier for you, how about a class or video for free? Use the promo code TWEAK1, that's TWEAKONE, to get 100% off the purchase of a single class or video rental. And don't forget to tell your friends to sign up for our newsletter so they can get the Tweak of the Week delivered straight to their email box every Monday morning. So until next time, have an amazing week and be excellent to each other.